Since I figure I'm going to need probably well over 1,000 223 for our South Dakota prairie dog hunt, I have begun sorting them out with my digital scale here. This is a 5-gallon pail full of Remington 223, and just breaking them down. Got anywhere from 94.5, 95, 96.5, 97.5, and then I'm finding a few Federals thrown in there, so putting them aside. So this is the very beginning of a lot of brass processing. Well, I got all that brass sorted. I ended up with, well, I guess in the range of 94 grains, 777 pieces, 95 grains, 1,100 pieces, and 96.5 or so grains, almost 1,300. 97, about 500 in there. Then I probably had another 500 that were either Federal or just way out of spec. So this is probably going to be the grand winner right here. That's what I'll be working up to have a crap load of the same stuff to go out to South Dakota with. Started doing the sizing and depriming on that batch that was almost 1,300 pieces. Got about 500 done right now. I stand them up in a tray, spray 100 of them at a time with a Hornady one-shot lube. Here, I'll pause it and drop them in. Okay, got them dropped in. Power's already on. All I'm doing is sizing and depriming right now, because I've got to do the flash hole internally and then clean out the primer pocket, so just running them around. Come right through the feeder, so it moves pretty quickly. Let's see here. And nothing else is getting done at this point. Well, I got about 600 done. Got a ways to go yet. Got a bunch of the bullets that I'm going to load for the prairie dogs when we go out west. So far, got a good deal, so I got a lot of load development to do, but one of the main ones is going to be the 55 grain nodular ballistic tip. Got 900 of those. And then probably in the bolt gun that has a 1 in 12 twist, the 52 grain nodular match. Boat tail hollow point. I did get some, because the price was so cheap, I'm going to try out some Varmageddon. These are flat based 55 grain, the tipped version of the Varmageddon. To see what gun likes those, and I got 400 of those. I'm going to go through sizing up that bag of 777 to start prepping those. The same as I have these almost 1,300 of that grain ready to go. For the 243, I've got about 330 all Federal, once fired. That I'm going to actually already have done the internal flash hole, done the primer pocket. The varmint load for the 243 is going to be these, I got 500 of them here, the 70 grain ballistic tip. Those should do pretty good out of the bolt gun. I've had good luck with those in the past. And then I've also got the 200 pieces of Lapua that we have in use right now for the bolt gun, and we'll take out some of her long range stuff in case we get some opportunities to shoot way out. These are 105 grain AMAX. Yeah, right there. With jazz on the gun. That's less than 4-inch group at 600 yards. Have to see what we can do out west. Well, since I've got all of the different preparations done on the brass, I just barely chamfered the case mouth on all of them, cleaned out the primer pocket. The decision to deburr the internal flash hole has been wearing on me, because I'm going to have to do that by hand. I've got, this batch here, and then I've got another batch of almost 800, so that would be one heck of a lot of work by hand. So I did a couple of groups today with some that were internally deburred, and then I did a couple of groups with some that were not. These two bottom groups are with a bolt gun, the top ones are with an H-bar. The strange thing is that the deburred, which you would think would be a little bit better, 5 shots, not bad. This is 100 meters, whatever that is for yards, but 5 shots, 15, 16, 7-inch, and ones that were not internally deburred, just barely tighter, practically the same group. It almost made no difference at all in whether or not it was deburred. The H-bar, I don't know what's going on, but I always end up with a flyer, and I watch them happen. I did not pull it, but anyway, deburred. I had an extra, so I shot 6 over here. 5 of 6 of them, throwing out that one, 1.5 inches, and then not internally deburred, throwing out one again. This is just 4 of 5. Once again, a little bit better. That's about over about 3/8 of an inch or so better. So very odd that the internal deburring is actually not the tighter group. So I guess that gives me some more decisions to make. The bullets I used today were the 55 grain ballistic tip Nosler. They're varmint bullet. As you can see, these do have the cantilever.